So I'm living in Seattle, and that I'll never forget that Monday was the open mic, and I ran down there and signed up. I think I was like number 2, and that night, all of a sudden, a kid walked in with a backwards hat on and a Boston Red Sox hat with long hair.
Yeah, I know who that dick is.
and it was Josh Wolf.
Yeah, yeah.
And he went on stage. He was well known there. I went up to him. You're from Boston. I'm from Jersey. We started talking. He probably thought I was fucking weird. He was looking at me like, what the fuck? And I chased him down for like 3 fucking days. Like, he told me where he worked at Lobo Loco and all this shit. And I'm like, fuck it. I got to hook up with you. You got to make this help me out. I got to start hanging around with Josh and Brody Stevens and Tana Manu and Gavin. There was just this crew that I had fit into. I had that in Colorado, but I really didn't. Those guys started. The reason why I left Colorado is because those guys started backbiting me.
Yeah.
Like those open micers started talking behind my back. And they're the ones, one of the guys in Denver was the guy who got me thrown out of the Comedy Works.
Oh,
so I was
really?
kind of like, I don't want to really be a part of comedy cliques, but those guys were a great crew. And then something happened that was was not in my cards. I didn't even see it coming. I had heard about the San Francisco comedy competition and the Seattle comedy competition. I had heard about these things, and I never knew I would be good enough to perform at one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not going to be good enough. And one day Ron Reed came up to me and he goes, are you doing the contest? I go, I don't know. Am I good enough to do the contest? He's like, well, we're having auditions. Just get your 6 minutes ready. And I went down there, I auditioned. And a couple of weeks later, they got back to me and said, you made the contest. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And it was like me, Josh Wolf, Aisha Taylor,
Yeah,
Aisha
Tyler,
Tyler.
yeah.
And in your mind, you look at the festival and I'm like, well, there's Josh Wolf, there's Brody, there's Tana, there's
I didn't know
us.
Brody went up to Seattle. I didn't know he was up there as
Yeah,
well.
bro, that's where I met him. So I had in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to do really good at this thing. And I remember going on stage the first night of the contest at a pizza parlor. And I fucking took like 13th place out of 15 people. I thought I was going to fucking die.
I'm surprised to hear that.
I went home and I cried and I looked at my set and I fucking revamped my set. I kicked it up. I was up all fucking night putting the fucks where they belong.
Yeah, in the lab. I love it.
That's when I
putting the fucks where they belong.
Oh, I was fucking pissed. I'm like, I can't fucking do 13th place. And then that Tuesday night, I redeemed myself. That Tuesday night, I came in like 5th. And then Wednesday, I came in like 4th.
Yeah.
And then Friday, I came in like 6th. And Saturday, I came in like 4th. So I made the semi-fucking finals. I'm like, holy shit. And everybody kept telling me, you're not going to make this anything because they don't like dirty comments. You're not going to do well. So I said, okay. So you have a week off and then you go back again. And I went back to the semifinals. And again, it was a nightmare. But it was great. It was a great experience.